Have you ever heard about a guy called the Baron of the Cemetery? If not, it's about time you did. He is a part of a group of spirits called the Barons. And honestly, unless you are familiar with Haitian voodoo, I do not think you've heard about them before. Now, when messing with these kinds of spirits, you will want to be particularly careful. Be extremely mindful of your behavior and the words you utter, because these guys will not forgive anything. They are known as occult masters, and they hold the secrets of the grave and of the living. Today, however, our main focus is the Baron of the Cemetery. As of the place where you can encounter him, I would say that the name is pretty self-explanatory. Now, given that these spirits are rather ruthless, it bears the question of why would you want to mess with them in the first place? Well, that is, my little ghosts, because they hold tremendous, unimaginable power. The Baron of the Cemetery is known as a master magician, and he holds the kind of knowledge that mortals do not have access to, yet they deeply crave. In short, this guy could be an irreplaceable asset in your life in general. Should you want to summon and work with the Baron of the Cemetery, this is how you must proceed. Step into the graveyard or cemetery of your choice at midnight and find the biggest statue of a cross. It is usually located at the central crossroads of the cemetery. Here, you must first salute the barons. As you do so, I advise you to kneel before the cross, or at least bow down solemnly. They do highly appreciate courtesy. Next, you will need to make sure that you feed the barons. To accomplish that, you must serve them a specific dish on a silver platter. Normally, they are really fond of rum cake or candy and sugar skulls. Offerings of high-quality rum will also be accepted. It is also recommended that you propitiate the barons before you attempt to perform any sort of ritual or summoning in the graveyard. That being said, you must perform a certain act that would appeal to them. Examples of this include, but are not limited to, self-deprecating humor, an offering of your blood, inflicting significant pain onto yourself, offering your praise, and or vowing to dedicate offerings to them for a certain amount of time, meaning at least a year. If you do go for that last option, however, keep in mind that they want offerings every day, and should you ever fail to give them exactly what they ask for when they ask for it, because bear in mind, they are not patient, I hope you understand that death is preferable to what they have in mind for you. That said, you may now proceed to summon the Baron of the Cemetery. How exactly will you find him? It's pretty easy. In voodoo tradition, it is believed that he can be found around the grave of the first man buried in that specific cemetery. Locate the oldest tombstone in the graveyard, and you will find your spirit there. A fair warning that I should give you is that you should never summon this Baron for trifles. Do not get too comfortable or too familiar with him. You should treat him with great respect and show him reverence, for he only favors those who hold him in high esteem. Do not ever give any signs that you see the two of you as equals. To him, you are inferior, and you want to stay that way. Now, once you've found the oldest grave in the cemetery, you must light up a cigar and place it on the tombstone. He is known to have expensive taste, so if you also care to offer some fine wine or liquor, believe me, Your gift will not go unnoticed. Speak his name now, and tell him exactly what it is you need help with. When you're done, turn around and start walking towards the exit. It needs to be the same spot or entrance that you came in through. As you are walking, make sure you do not raise your head. Only stare at the ground. Do not lift your head up no matter what. He will try to startle you, to make you look around, but do not fall for it. When you reach the gate, but before you exit the cemetery, say the following words. I am of the living. Please allow me to exit safely. If everything went fine up to that point, if you have not upset the barons in any way, you should be able to get out of the cemetery. If, however, the gate is locked, or you see a hound on the other side, it means that you have somehow offended the spirits, and you now must try to appease them. Most of the time, this is anything but easy. However, no matter what they ask for, it cannot be worse than dying, right? And not necessarily, but I digress. Suppose that you can exit safely. Go home, go to bed, and pray that everything went fine. Later that night, you will wake up, and when you open your eyes, a dark figure standing in the corner of your room. It appears to be wearing a long trench coat and a top hat. The apparition will have glowing red or orange eyes, and it will be smoking a cigar. Do not be afraid. This is the Baron of the cemetery, and he has come to seal the deal. He is going to ask you for something in return for what he is going to provide for you. Be aware that whatever he is going to demand from you, it might seem unfair, ruthless, and merciless, but that is not for you to judge. The barons do not know empathy, and they do not care for morals, law, order, justice, or authority. You most likely will have to do something to humor him. More often than not, this has to do with confronting death, whether that is agreeing to allow him to take the life of someone close to you, sacrificing one of your pets if you happen to have any, or agreeing to let him put you in any situation that will bring you a near-death experience. All of these things are completely on the table. Now you might ask, if it is so dangerous to work with this guy, why would anyone take any of the risks associated with the Baron of the cemetery to obtain whatever it is that they are seeking? Why not work with a different entity? Well, that is simply because the Baron has dominion over more entities, demons and spirits than you could ever imagine. He commands legions of lesser demons, from which he can offer you protection. Sure, you can still go work with these other entities, but chances are that they will try to cross you, to trick you one way or another. They will attempt to do something that is not stated in the initial contract, bringing you immense misfortune that you cannot prevent or fix. Unless, of course, you are under the protection of the Baron. This alone is a very good reason to start working with him right away, if you are the type to casually try out ritual to gain all the meaningless treasures that mortals desire. Moreover, the Baron of the cemetery, as previously stated, is one of those entities that have access to knowledge, universal knowledge, both from beyond the grave and from the mortal realm. Some examples of what generally interest humans in this regard include the winning lottery numbers, insidious ways to bring down entire governments and take over continents, the cure for all conceivable and inconceivable illnesses. The Baron holds it all, and all you have to do is ask, and be ready to pay the price. Do you have something to trade? Something that might interest him? That is of value to him? And what is it that he values? Well, he is the guardian of the cemetery. He rules that place which none dare to venture into, the very thin line between life and death. So if you want to entertain him, come on in and join the game of laughing in the face of death. Hello to all my little ghosts, old or new, young or ancient. And if you enjoy ritual pastas and creepypastas in general as much as I do, make sure you check out the playlist on the screen or simply go check out the rest of my videos. Subscribe to claim your tombstone in the graveyard, hit that like button and turn on all notifications. It costs absolutely nothing to press those buttons, but it helps me out tremendously. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in the next video.